Hey everyone, welcome back to another devlog. Today's devlog is going to be a little bit different than the previous ones. Firstly, I'd like to start highlighting the top comment that you guys voted on from the previous devlog. I'm hoping that this will encourage some people to leave a suggestion or comment, as well as give you the power to vote on a comment to have that idea possibly implemented into the game. So this week's top comment is from Sammy Dev. That close-up third person is way better than the top-down or the far third person. Please keep it. Thank you Sammy Dev for leaving this comment, and I sure did keep it. I'll show you later on. So lately I've been asked by a couple people now what my goals are for the game and what do I have planned for the game. So in this devlog I'd like to go into a bit about where my inspiration came from, as well as tell you what I currently have planned for the game later on. Then later in the video I will show you what I worked on this week. So we're going all the way back to 2010. When my brother first introduced me to a game called RuneScape. If you don't know what RuneScape is, it is a huge MMO title that was released back in 2001, where you could go on quests, have epic battles, craft items from resources, and there's just so much more you can do. You should also know that there's an area in RuneScape called the Wilderness, where if you die in the wilderness, you'll lose all the items that you were holding. Also, if you go further out into the wilderness, the further you go, the more difficult the enemies will get. Just remember this point for later, as I'll get back to it in a second. So there I am, 10-year-old me instantly falls in love with this game, and it really holds a special place in my heart, even to this day. Now here's the thing, my household banned any killing in video games, which means I was restricted to leveling up only the non-violent skills like mining or cooking. The only thing that I was allowed to kill were chickens and cows, and since almost all the skills were based around your combat level, it took me ages to level up as well as get any amount of money. Now just hold on, I'm getting to my point. After literal years of grinding, I finally got to level 85 in mining. So that level is the level that you can mine runite ore. Now at the time, the only place I knew you could mine it was in the wilderness. And I never went to the wilderness because I didn't want to die, right? And lose all my stuff. So I knew if I wanted to get runite, I would have to risk the items I worked so hard to get. Risk versus reward, you know? That feeling of if I were to travel out just a little further, I might get a better item or progress faster is the fundamental feeling I'm going for in my own game. Just like the wilderness in RuneScape, the closer you are to home, or the anthill in my case, the more peaceful it is. But the further out you get, the more death and decay you will see. The grass will wither away, the soil will turn to ash, the sky will darken, and the creatures will become more corrupt. I did know from the start of this project that I wanted to create a game that was sweet and cute on the outside, but the more you explored and adventured into the unknown, the more dark and twisted it would become as you uncovered the secrets of the world. So as you adventure out further, I do have plans on having an indicator for your distance. That's the whole point basically behind the waypoint of the anthill. Or I might add a UI element that'll show your distance and the difficulty of area that you're in, as well as I'll have environmental cues to indicate what kind of corruption you're in or what level of difficulty possibly based on the decay of the plants around you. Now the way I see it is that some sort of fast travel will have to exist at some point in the game, as I don't want players running back and forth all the time. This will be either implemented through ant tunnels or the obelisk and a mini-map. Now this is going to take a long time to develop, and the road ahead has all sorts of bumps and cracks in it. But you know what? That's okay. Alright, let's get into what I did this week. Last devlog, I mentioned I wanted to get an enemy model done, health bars working, and get an item script working. Well, I didn't do any of that. This week, instead, I worked on your guys' suggestion of keeping the third person view. And with that, I had to prevent the camera from clipping into the ground. I had to adjust my chunk generation script a little bit to work with the new viewport. I had to remake my screen shake. I had to also adjust my character movement script to enable the ability to walk down slopes instead of just hopping down. I also applied a failsafe, so if you accidentally fall through the world, you'll just spawn right back on top. I technically should have done that in the beginning, but I forgot about it. And lastly, I applied a new shader I got off of GitHub just to hide that ugly world boundary that you can see sometimes if you're up high. So basically this week all I've been doing is converting over the top down to the new third person view. And I've still got a few things I need to finish up, like fixing the waypoint and fixing my interactable script. I am also currently working on making sure the player doesn't stick to walls and having the character change angles depending on the angle of the ground. Then after that, I can continue on to other things. Thank you so much for watching. I know this devlog was a little bit different than the previous ones, so next week I'll post a regular one. And now I have an Instagram page at _devmickey. I'll try to post something every 2 days, so if you'd like to follow the game's progress a little bit more closely, then you can go follow me there on Instagram. I'm also working on setting up a Discord, so stay tuned for that. And if you'd like to support my project, all you have to do is like this video and subscribe. As always, I'll try my best to respond to all your comments and suggestions, and thanks again for watching, and I'll see you later.